Welcome to my official WWE Clash in Italy 2026 predictions video, where today I'm going to talk through every match on the card, tell you who I think is going to win and why I think they're going to win in the context of ongoing storylines. So to jump straight in, we've got WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley defending her championship against the woman she won the championship of at WrestleMania, Jade Cargill. I have to be honest, my main excitement for this match is the fact that I'm going to get to see Rhea Ripley live. I haven't seen her wrestle since way back in 2018 when she won the NXT UK Women's Championship at a taping in Birmingham that I just happened to go to. She did make a surprise appearance on Raw the night after Clash in Paris last year, which I was lucky enough to attend as well, after the show went off air. Which was great, and it was a nice surprise, but obviously it's not the same as seeing her actually perform. Anyway, I think it's fair to say that Rhea vs Jade at WrestleMania was a pleasant surprise to most of us. I think the match ended up being a lot better than the majority of us thought, so I do have a little higher expectations for the rematch here. From a booking perspective, it doesn't make much sense for me to Jade to win the title straight back from Rhea. Her previous reign was wholly underwhelming, and I don't think there's really anybody clamouring to see her win the championship again. I'm not really sure what's next for either woman after this match, to be honest, regardless of who is the champion, as the SmackDown Women's main event division is pretty slim right now. We really do need to free up some of the big names like Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss from the tag team division to give whoever the champion is going to be coming out of Italy some good and interesting feuds going forward. Speaking of Flair and Bliss, it is a possibility that they could get involved in this match in some kind of capacity, and the same goes for Michin and B-Fab following the 6-woman tag team match that they all had at the recent Saturday night's main event, where Jade did pin Rhea to win the match, which I do think is significant, but I feel like WWE have done this to make us feel like there is a genuine chance that Jade could win the championship back from Rhea Ripley in Italy, but I'll be honest, I don't buy it. So I'm going to predict that Rhea Ripley successfully retains her WWE Women's Championship at Clash. Before I go through the rest of my predictions, I just wanted to let you guys know that although I will be doing a WWE PLE Recap video for Clash in Italy 2026, it will not be posted the day after the event, which is what I typically do. This is simply because I'm attending the event in person in Italy, and as well as that, it's also a nice little getaway for me and my wife as we're going to be in the country for a few days, so it wouldn't really be fair on her if I spend hours and hours filming and editing when we're only in the country for like 4 days. With that being said, I will be filming whilst I'm out there, so there will be some footage of Turin, the arena, the merchandise, just the general atmosphere as well, and no doubt I'll post some clips of the actual event itself, so I do promise it will be worth the wait. So if you want to be sure that you don't miss that PLE recap video for Clash in Italy, please do subscribe to the channel. Next, we have the massive and unexpected rematch between Brock Lesnar and Femi. This is a huge and, as I said, unexpected rematch between these two behemoths after Femi convincingly defeated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42. There hasn't been a massive amount of build to this one, as Brock made a shocking return on the May 18th edition of Monday Night Raw, attacking Femi from behind just before he was going to do his weekly Open Challenge, surprising practically everyone as we all thought that he had retired. Although I was wrong that Paul Heyman's favour to Gunther was going to be bringing Brock back for one final match at SummerSlam against Gunther, I do still think that Brock will wrestle his proper final match at SummerSlam this year. I believe that match is going to be against Femi, which Brock will lose and then he will retire for good. Therefore, I'm going to predict that Brock Lesnar is going to defeat Femi in Italy, as that would mean that the two are one victory apiece going into SummerSlam. If Oba beats Brock again in Italy, there isn't really much of a reason to have a third match, unless Brock just simply demands it out of sheer anger and frustration. I feel it would be much better narratively if Oba suffers a setback in Italy by losing to Brock. It would also create much higher stakes for the third match at SummerSlam, as if Brock was able to win the rubber match, he could look back on his defeat to Femi at WrestleMania as a mere blip as opposed to a defining moment in his career. We are also yet to see Femi deal with any kind of real adversity since being called up to the main roster. He was made to look very strong in the entire build-up to the match against Brock at WrestleMania, and then he defeated Brock in less than 5 minutes on the grandest stage of them all. Oba losing in Italy is the best thing for this story. It allows for some character development and gives Oba a massive amount of motivation to want that third and final match at SummerSlam. If Brock does win in Italy, maybe he disappears from TV again for a while, saying that he is retired after getting his win back from over Femi, and maybe we see Oba spending weeks and months trying to convince Paul Heyman to bring Brock back for that one last match so he can prove that his victory over Brock at WrestleMania wasn't a fluke. Who knows? But either way, I'm going to say my prediction is that Brock Lesnar is going to defeat Oba Femi. Also, for your awareness, the third instalment in my monthly Replica belt review series will be coming out on June the 2nd, where I'm going to be reviewing the United States Championship that you can see behind me. This is a highly recognisable championship belt amongst pro wrestling fans, and certainly a very underrated replica belt as well. I would also like to take a moment to thank you all for making my network logo WWE Championship belt review the most successful video on my channel so far. I really appreciate the support. Next up, we have the match that was just added to the Clash in Italy card, which is Becky Lynch defending her Women's Intercontinental Championship against Sol Ruca. Since being called up to the main roster, Sol Ruca has looked impressive in defeats against both Women's World Champion Liv Morgan and Io Sky, which has caught the attention of Becky. The two women just had a match at Saturday night's main event last night, which Sol did win via disqualification after she accidentally collided with Jessica Carr attempting a Soul Snatcher because Becky Lynch pulled her in the way. This is a tricky one for me because Sol has looked very impressive since being called up to the main roster. She certainly hasn't been buried, which I've seen a lot of people say, just because she has lost. All you have to do is look at the manner of those defeats and who she lost to understand that. Becky has only recently won the Intercontinental title back from AJ Lee at WrestleMania, but on the flip side, Sol is yet to have a clean victory on the main roster. To be honest, I want Sol to win here. The feud can easily continue after Clash in Italy, and a championship change in front of the Italian crowd would go hard. The problem for me is Triple H's booking habits. He tends to give these big crowning moments to new talent on the big shows like WrestleMania or SummerSlam. And whilst I have no issue with this, I don't think that all of these crowning moments need to take place on these marquee shows. I don't want to wait until SummerSlam to see Sol win the title, and I absolutely do think that she should win the title. She is the perfect kind of talent to be holding a women's mid-card championship at this point in her career. It's just, do I have the faith on WWE to pull the trigger in Italy? Looking at the lengths of the previous reigns so far, only the first 2 title reigns cleared 100 days. Every title reign since then hasn't even reached 60 days. So I'm struggling, but I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say that Sol Ruca is going to win the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Clash in Italy will also see Cody Rhodes defend his undisputed WWE Championship against the Ring General Gunther. Gunther shocked us all when he attacked Cody Rhodes from behind on the May 8th edition of SmackDown, officially switching over to the blue brand and getting this World Championship opportunity, all thanks to the favour owed to him by Paul Heyman, courtesy of Gunther defeating Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. This match has only had a few weeks of build, which has largely centred around Gunther wanting to do things on his own terms, which resulted in him actually having to defeat Royce Keys to earn the #1 contendership that was already his had he just signed the contract. Cody has been wise to Gunther's attacks and has looked smart as the veteran champion. However, he was choked out in the sleeper hold on the most recent episode of SmackDown, whilst his supposed friend Sami Zayn just watched on. Cody is in his 3rd run as WWE Champion after winning the title back from Drew McIntyre on the March 6th episode of SmackDown, and Gunther has continued to be booked like an almost unstoppable force. He retired John Cena in December, he then retired AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble, before going on later that night to almost win the Men's Royal Rumble match itself, just coming runner-up to Roman Reigns. Honestly, SmackDown needs freshening up, and it's only a matter of time before Gunther wins another World Championship. I do think the next one that he wins should be the WWE Championship as well, as he has not held it yet, and that is the championship in all of professional wrestling. I'm going to be bold here and say that Gunther wins the undisputed WWE Championship in Italy. The reaction of the European crowd would be absolutely incredible, and I can't wait to be a part of it. I also do think that this match is going to open the show, as there is no way on this earth that Roman versus Jacob isn't going to be the main event. So if you pull the trigger here and give Gunther the championship in the opening match of the night, it's going to create a huge amount of buzz and uncertainty for the rest of the evening. Finally, we have Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu in just the third ever tribal combat match in WWE history for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is very intriguing because Jacob has been made to look very strong against Roman throughout their feud so far. The Tongan Death Grip has been presented as a highly dangerous manoeuvre that Roman only just got out of at Backlash out of sheer desperation. With this being tribal combat, it will be no disqualification and it should mean no interference. I say should because this was previously established before Roman's match against Jey Uso at SummerSlam 2023, and yet both Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso got involved in the match, with Jimmy ultimately costing Jey the championship. This is still one of the worst booking decisions in recent memory, by the way. It also means that not only is the World Heavyweight Championship on the line, but so is the Ula Fala and the title of being known as the Tribal Chief. The last time we saw a tribal combat match was when Roman Reigns defeated Solo Sikoa in January 2025 on the Monday Night Raw premiere on Netflix, and this match did have no interference, so this was a true tribal combat match based on the rules that were initially presented to us. Despite how strong Jacob has been booked, I just struggle to see him winning not only the World Championship, but also the title of being known as the Tribal Chief as well. On the flip side though, I do think it would be a very interesting story if Jacob was to shockingly win, become World Heavyweight Champion, and become the Tribal Chief, as this would then send Roman on a journey of having to try to recover that after losing the family title to Jacob, who is effectively the black sheep of the family. I would be very curious to see if the Usos fell in line if Jacob did win, for example. This is a fresh new direction for the Bloodline storyline to go in, which I think would be very interesting. This is similar to Becky versus Soul in that I feel like Jacob winning is the better choice narratively. It's just, do I have the faith that WWE are actually going to make this decision? This match could hinge on whether the Usos get involved or not. I think that this version of Roman Reigns wouldn't want the Usos to get involved on his behalf, but then again, he was only able to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat at Backlash out of sheer desperation and using the exposed turnbuckle. I personally want to see world titles change hands more often. I want to see WWE experiment with new champions by giving them short championship reigns just to see with how they cope. This is a fantastic opportunity to create a brand new first-time world champion, create a huge shock, and make WWE television truly feel unpredictable again. Roman is undefeated in the two previous tribal combat matches, and his June appearances have been reinstated after he was previously pulled from advertising for some events. I am struggling here, and although I do think that Jacob winning would be the best decision, I think that would be definitely the stronger decision and be the more interesting storyline going forward. I think WWE are going to stick with the status quo here, and Roman Reigns is going to defend successfully his World Heavyweight Championship, the Ula Fala, and stay the Tribal Chief. Thank you guys for watching, I do appreciate it. If you did like this video, please do support me in any way you can, whether that's subscribing to the channel, liking this video, or letting me know your predictions down in the comments section below. As I mentioned, the third instalment of my Replica belt review series is coming out on June the 2nd, so keep an eye out for that one. And if you are interested in the two that I've already posted, you can find the links to those in the description down below. The belts that I have reviewed so far are the WWE Spinner Championship and the Network Logo WWE title. I have 16 Replica Championships in my collection, some of which that you can see behind me, and I'm going to be reviewing one every single month until I've done my full collection. So if any of that sounds good to you, please do head over to my channel. But until next time, see you later.